What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. Unlike Sophie, whenever one of her friends from Europe asks to come visit us, she says, "Oh, hell no!" It's the one and only, I don't care how good looking you are, you ain't staying here, Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? And that's only partially the truth.
Okay, all right. It's all based in truth over here, though.
If it's my close family member, like my cousins with their partners, they're welcome to stay with us.
I didn't say family. I said friends. Whenever one of your friends is like, "Hey, can we stay with you for 2 weeks?"
That was a cousin.
Oh, it was?
That was a second cousin.
That was a bold ask.
That was my mom's cousin's son. So it was like mom's a cousin of a cousin of a cousin.
Mom's cousin's son. Well, I have the perfect defense now, if anyone ever asks. If anyone ever asks. We just got word from your dad that our apartment is too small for a dog. So if any friend or family member, whoever asked, we can just say, "Guys, we don't even have enough room for a dog," according to Carell. So how do we expect to put you up?
Well, Carell, that's not his only thing. He says, because we talked about getting a big dog, and then my dad said that and said, "You guys live in a place, it's very lively around with a lot of bars and restaurants, not a lot of places to take the dog out," which is not true. But my dad is basically saying, you travel all the time. You don't have a big apartment. Like, what are you going to do with a lab?
Right.
But I told him, I was like, I think lab can fit here.
You think a lab? I think a lab.
Well, like a beagle.
The right lab.
I like the right beagle.
We're not getting into this.
Not right now, right? But honestly, we do have the room if someone wants to come visit us, sure. But I need to feel comfortable with these people staying with us. If it's my close family, like Radushka or Marek, right, my cousins.
Yeah, you don't even have to ask.
They don't have to ask. They can stay with us and it's fine. But if it's cousin of a cousin, he's this dude in his, I think he might be 40.
Well, now we're making this very personal.
No, but he's like, "Hey, I'm going to come with a buddy. He's going to stay for about 2 weeks with you guys." Like, well, what's there to do around? It's Florida, right? The beach? I'm like, bro, like you're welcome to come visit us. We'll take you out to dinner, but you're not staying here with your buddy. I don't know you that well. I don't know your buddy. It's just not okay.
What a bold ask. And on top of that, we don't even have enough room for a dog.
I think that's just my dad's excuse of telling us, like, guys, they're like, yet another reason why you should not get a dog.
No, I think it was his way of telling us that he was a little cramped when he stayed here for a week.
My dad is a big guy. I think he was cramped because I was working. I was on these calls and he kept walking behind me in his undies. And I'm like, damn, Dad.
Yeah.
I was like, on a camera.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, not here to talk about Teresa's family. Here to talk about other families, other international families.
Yeah.
90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Before we do real quick a little business, you guys know we're on Patreon and Supercast. We're over there talking about the single life. But unfortunately, it's coming to an end. There's only a couple more episodes.
I know. And I said it before. I'm going to say it again. TLC really fucked up by not waiting with Seeking Sister Wife.
You're telling me.
I love that show and I watch it. We watch it. I wish we could watch it and cover it, but unfortunately, they didn't align it for us.
Not for us. But hey, what are you going to do? We got enough good stuff happening over there. When the single life ends, we will have Love in Paradise.
Woohoo, which I love to.
We'll be covering that. So check us out on Patreon and Supercast if you're interested. It's ad-free, of course. There is the bonus episodes, Love in Paradise, and once in a while we throw just random bonuses your way.
And we chat with you.
Love to chat. We love to chat. So check it out, patreon.com/marriedtoreality, marriedtoreality.supercast.com. Also, chat with us on Instagram, @marriedtorealitypod. Slide into our DMs.
Yes.
Get in there.
Slide in and I'll respond. And John's gonna read it. So
I'll
if you guys want to talk shit about him, well, then
I'm going to read it.
he's gonna read it.
Why? Is that what's happening over there?
Just kidding, guys.
Oh, I was like,
You
it sounds
always
like my
give him
family
love.
chat.
You always give him love. What are you
Yes.
talking about?
Yeah, share the
You
love.
are the baby in the family.
Share the love. So, all right, we're on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Also, make sure to follow the podcast wherever you're listening. It's so easy to do. Look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as the wanna being the spiritual bath raccoons.
Well,
It's pretty good, right?
Pretty hot.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty hot. I like it. All right, smash it like that. And last but not least, if you guys haven't, you guys know we love a little love. If you haven't left a review, if you leave a 5-star review and you write something, what if we told you we'd read it on this podcast right here?
Yes.
All right. If you leave a 5-star review and you write something, we will read it for everyone to hear. So if you haven't done that yet, if you haven't left a review, please do. All right. Now, before we get into the meat of this episode, what do you say we do a little 90-day, by the way?
Let's hear what you've got because I sent you some hot tips this week.
All right. Well, let's make this a family 90-day, by the way, segment. How about that?
Okay.
All right. By the way, number 1. Most have heard the news by now, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't report it. So allow me to report it so we can discuss a little. Well, it's a shame. It's a shame Cole and Vanessa never made it to the last resort because it turns out they needed the help.
Yes. They needed the help a lot because...
Whose segment is this?
Oh, sorry. Well, I told you about it. So.
No, that's not how this part works.
Okay,
Normally it's a little back and forth. There's a little banter. There's a little I say, you say. This is all me, Teresa.
Okay, you
All right,
share.
you just you sit over there and you just go,
You share. I'm going to sip on my sparkling water.
all right, you enjoy that. So in a pretty shocking turn of events, Vanessa has confirmed her separation from Colt. This is where you say like, oh, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. She was doing an Instagram Q&A and she disclosed that she had parted ways with Colt. It's been about a month. And here's the thing. People said, oh, Colt was cheating on her because people saw Colt on Tinder. Well, you guys got your timelines mixed up. She left him. And then, as single men do, he went on Tinder. Okay? So, no infidelity there. But it seems to be the end of this relationship. It's sad. I would say we would probably get a single life season with Colt or Vanessa, but they went pretty scorched earth on TLC after Colt's trampoline injury.
It's not funny because he really got injured, but whenever someone says Colt and the trampoline, I just pictured him and it just makes me a little giggle. But I feel bad for the injury that he had.
Totally. So it would have been great to see him on the single life, but I won't hold my breath. But there you go.
We'll see.
They've split.
I not feel bad. I don't like Colt, but I feel like he's going to have a hard time replacing Vanessa because I liked her.
Sweet girl.
Yeah, especially with Colt.
Yeah. Not the sweetest guy. So that's, by the way, number 1. I said this is a family, by the way.
Okay.
Let's keep it in the family.
Oh, yeah.
Larissa has announced she'll be on the new season of House of Villains.
Is that a TLC show or not?
It's an E show.
Okay, because I think she was like banned from TLC.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's another season of House of Villains coming out.
Who's watching it?
We never watched one episode.
No.
I'm not surprised that Larissa will be on it, though, if there is the second season, because she's kind of villainous.
I may watch it because Larissa's wild.
We didn't watch Aunt Fisa, and Aunt Fisa's wild.
Well, she's not that wild. She's just sassy.
That's true.
Larissa's wild.
That's very true. Well, we'll tune in for an episode. Here's the full cast if you're interested.
Sure.
All right. Wes Bergman from The Challenge. MTV's The Challenge.
No idea.
Teresa Giudice from The Real Housewives of New Jersey.
I think I know who she is just because I have social media.
I think she went to jail for money laundering or tax or something. Allegedly, I don't know. Jesse Goddard from Big Brother.
No idea.
Richard Hatch. Pretty sure he's the first guy to ever win Survivor. I don't know how he's still surviving. He must be about 90.
I've never watched that show, so no
90
idea.
years old. Candy Muse from RuPaul's Drag Race. Camila Poindexter from Bad Girls Club.
No idea.
Tiffany New York Pollard from Flavor of Love.
No idea.
Safari from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
No idea.
Larissa Lima from OnlyFans and 90 Day Fiancé.
Does it say OnlyFans?
No, I added that.
Oh.
I threw that in there, spice it up a little bit.
Interesting. I don't know any of these people.
No, I know about 2.5. Doesn't have a premiere date yet, but expected sometime after fall on exclamation point.
All right.
There you go. That's the family, by the way.
And you're welcome.
Thank you for the Larissa?
Tips.
With Colin. Yeah, the Colin Vanessa one. All right. That's 90 Day, by the way. What do you say we do it? The reason we're here is Sunday night, 90 Day Fiancé, happily ever after. Question mark. Season 8, episode 3.
Well, let's start small.
Woo! Let's start in Kansas.
Yeah, so Smollett and Liz are home making some breakfast pizza. What? Okay.
Oh boy.
What is breakfast pizza?
What isn't breakfast pizza? You could make any sort of pizza. You can make a dessert pizza, a breakfast pizza. You can make a lunch pizza, a dinner pizza, an appetizer pizza.
So you're saying that's pizza with eggs?
When pizza's on a bagel, you could eat pizza anytime.
You see, like, this is where Americans are crossing a lot of lines.
Oh boy, do tell. Because last I heard, Czechs were putting corn and ketchup on pizza, and that's crossing. That's erasing the lines.
That's what's up.
Oh.
Okay, I'll give you the ketchup. Corn, it's delish. Love some good corn on a good pizza.
Gross. A breakfast, follow me down this path. You know you love a burrito.
I do.
You know and you love a breakfast burrito.
Not the biggest fan. It depends what's in it.
But you can wrap your head around it.
Okay, yeah.
Same difference with pizza.
You see, like, that's
you throw
where
some
you
egg,
lost me.
you throw some potato, you throw some cheese.
Maybe this is why. I have never had a burrito in my life until I moved to the US. So that all was new. I ate pizza all the time in Czech with ketchup and mushrooms and corn, obviously.
Okay.
So for me, pizza is a dinner meal, or So breakfast pizza just doesn't make sense to me.
Here's my breakfast pizza. Cold pizza from the night before.
Oh.
Take it out of the fridge.
And tell our friends that I always yell at you when you eat cold pizza.
You say like, just heat it up. Just heat it up.
Yeah. I can't take you eating. Okay. This is my pet peeve. My pet peeve.
I think you got it right this time.
This is my pet peeve. If you have any leftovers that are supposed to be warm, you need to warm them up. You cannot eat them cold.
Who says they're supposed to be warm?
I can't stand
cold
it.
Chinese food the next day?
I
cold
honestly,
pizza?
I would throw up. I can't. And here is my other pet peeve. If the only way I do leftovers is if I arrange it nicely in a glass container, so when I open it, it looks like a brand new food.
You're so bougie.
I have a thing, and I need to warm it up, steam it up in that glass container. Otherwise, I can't eat it.
All right. Well, you and Smollett.
It's not bougie. It's just this is how I like it. Smollett making breakfast pizza while being mad at a kid for making a little mess. It's ridiculous.
He and you, I feel like you guys have a lot in common. You're both getting anxiety over this.
You take it back. I dare you.
You both can't watch The Bear because you both get anxiety with messy, loud kitchens.
Whoa, different reason. Okay, I perfected my cooking skills that I cook and clean at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's me. I can't watch The Bear because when I go out to a restaurant, I always picture everything's great in the back, right? I don't want to know what's going on. Watching The Bear and how they just run or not run it and it's just yelling at each other and it's dirty. Like, I can't watch it. The Bear gives me so much anxiety that I cannot literally watch it.
Yeah, we've tried.
And I do like the actor.
Yeah, we've tried a couple times. I can't watch just because the story goes nowhere. And I'm kind of speaking out of turn because I think we've only made it through 2 episodes. But like, let's get to the point already.
I can't watch it because of the dirty kitchen and the yelling.
Well, that's why
I can't watch the yelling.
That's the kitchen that Ed found himself in on this morning. And yeah, if you can't have fun making breakfast pizza with a child, you can't have fun.
Yeah, and it's like I have fun. Like, let's not compare me to small Ed. I have fun cooking. It's just I do clean or I clean right after. I would not be making a big deal about making a mess while cooking. Like, that's part of that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But small Eddie just cannot. And Riley, the voice of reason, she's like, why don't we just cook and then clean after? Huh. And small is like, oh, great idea. Because I feel like when it came from a kid, he was like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, let's get on with it. Let's go look at some wedding dresses with the whole crew. Mother Patty, Grandma Lavina, Riley.
This is why it's so sad. No one's on board with this wedding, including freaking Liz. Well, she's not even sure.
She did say, I'm so excited to be Mrs. Big Ed. Oh, guarantee that's what we could look because we found the invitations. I'm like thinking that's what's on the invites, like Mr. and Mrs. Big Ed cordially invite you to celebrate their love. Yeah. So, all right, not a huge budget to work with here. But let's try on some dresses. Let's get an idea of what style I want, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah, the first one was not to my liking.
It looks like she got drunk at the wedding and fell into a bush.
Kind of. It wasn't the worst. I've seen worse dresses, but it wasn't my type of my cup of tea. It wasn't Liz's cup of tea either, but somehow she liked it.
She did like it. To me, it looked like there was weeds growing out of it, but all right, different strokes for different folks. Mom comes out in the midst of all this and is like, okay, I'm seeing the dress. It's getting real. I think I'd like to talk to small Ed before the wedding so we can get some of that awkwardness out of the way.
And this is where it gets sad. I think the only sad part, a slightly sad part of our wedding was that I didn't get this whole dress shopping experience. I tried it with your mom. They didn't have the dress I wanted. I was overwhelmed. So then I ended up going by myself. And I feel like I really wish I had someone else with me.
Yeah.
And I took more time picking the dress. But long story short, I altered it. It ended up great. This whole thing is just sad. Like, imagine if your mom didn't like me and your parents were trying to talk you out of marrying me, or the other way around. That would be so sad. Like, if my parents said, you know, like, John, like, I don't know about him. Like, really, John? I don't think I could marry you and be happy, because I would feel like, why don't they like you? And we obviously know why they don't like small Ed.
That's why it's a different thing, because Liz is listening and agreeing with.
True. But think about it. How would you feel if your parents did not like me and they question your decision of marrying me?
Well, it depends how much they actually got to know you. If they met you once or twice and had this idea of who you were, and I knew it wasn't the case, I'd pay it no mind. If they knew you as well as they know you.
Oh, they knew me.
Oh, you're saying like, if the circumstance was the same, but instead of loving you, they said they disliked you. I would wonder why. I would question it. I would talk about it. I trust my parents. I think they're very smart, thoughtful people. And so I would listen to what they had to say. Ultimately, my decision, of course.
True.
But sure, it would definitely put a damper on the celebrations.
Yeah, this is the case.
Yeah.
Liz is getting married to small Ed, who she's not even that happy with. They argue all the time. They argued over making fucking breakfast pizza. Who does that?
Yeah.
And she's gonna marry him. Her mom isn't on board. Her grandma isn't on board.
Grandma's okay. Grandma's all right. Grandma's on the fence. She's okay.
But grandma's just happy she's getting a free glass of champagne. So.
You got that right.
But
I see you, babichka.
It's just sad. It makes me sad. And all I'm saying is like, Liz, run.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It shouldn't make you sad. You should be on team mom and grandma and be like, no, don't marry him, Liz. Don't be sad that no one supports the wedding. Be like, Liz, wake up. There's a reason people don't support the wedding.
Well, ultimately, it's up to Liz, and that's why it's sad.
True. So then she comes out in her second dress. It just looks like someone picked the leaves off. It was a very similar dress, just without the ivy.
Very different dress. This one was slick.
Huh.
It wasn't a princess cut. It was very slick.
Oh, I know
she
nothing.
looked nice. It was around $885, which is way more than she wanted. But hey, you're only getting married once or twice.
That's true.
Or potentially 3 times in her case.
Yeah. So go for it. Riley says go for it. It's what Liz wants. So she's going to go for it.
She's going to go for it.
Let's see. All right. Next couple up. Sophie and Rob. Sophie making the grand return to the apartment after 2 months away.
With one small bag.
Yeah, if she doesn't get the apology she's looking for, she's turning right back around.
Well, Rob didn't really pick up on the apology part, but instead he created a list of things for them to do to cohabitate better.
I don't disagree with a lot of this list because did you look at this apartment? They really moved in. Like this apartment was packed to the gills with shit. There was a kayak in the kitchen.
I saw it.
Somebody does need to pick up around there.
Well, if you don't have a place for the kayak, I guess the kayak needs to be in the kitchen, but...
Oh, I disagree. I think there's plenty of other places besides the kitchen the kayak could go.
I guess.
I would lock it up outside, maybe. I would strap it to the top of my car.
You don't want to drive around with a kayak.
How do you think you get it to the lake?
Well, okay, but what if you're going to Costco?
Sure. I don't know, but I wouldn't leave it in my kitchen.
True.
So this list of things to do was basically chores for Sophie. Wash the dishes, put your dirty clothes away, put your beauty products away.
Which, honestly, there shouldn't be a list. It should be like you just do it.
The list is a little aggressive. If you want to talk about it, I fully support that. If it's like, hey, if you, and you have many a times come up to me and be like, hey, why don't you put your shoes here? Or why don't you put your suitcase there? Right? That's fine. If you've made a list, that's a little passive aggressive.
Like we've been, and that's why I always say, when you are a normal couple that meets and you date a little and start spending time at each other's places, and then you slowly move in or you find a place together, you start learning these little things and pointing them out, right?
Yeah.
So like we naturally learn, and I'm a very clean person, you're very clean. You hate when I leave a glass of water elsewhere, which is the worst thing I do.
Yeah.
I hate when you leave things when they're not supposed to be. And we've been calling each other out on this for years. So it's okay for me to be like, hey, look, you just left your socks on the floor and you pick them up and you move on. Mm-hmm. They went from a long distance relationship where he was just constantly online cheating to them living together. It's hard. Imagine just starting to live with someone and, whoa, wait a minute, that's my wife.
Totally.
You don't even know each other fully to get to learn each other's habits. And I feel like at that point, if they're fighting already and he says, oh, you have makeup everywhere, clean it up, she takes it and she gets offended.
Here's the real question, though. How much toilet paper is too much toilet paper?
Ooh, well, that one was crazy.
How much would you say is too much in a day?
I don't even want to think about it. That's something I want to do in private.
Hmm? Who's
Use
doing
my
it
toilet paper.
Yeah, who's doing it in public?
Well, not even in public talking. If you went out with our friends and you started saying that I use too much TP, I would be like genuinely mad at you.
Teresa, I'd rather you use too much than too little. So
True.
use as much as you need.
Also, go to Costco. Great deals on all these large bags of toilet paper.
Yeah, we're
just
gonna,
like get the kayak away and put the TP there.
You could put the TP in the kayak.
Oh,
that is a thing. You could store things in a kayak.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Let her use all the TP. Like, honestly, out of all the expensive shit you could possibly think of wasting, toilet paper is not one you should be stingy on.
this was the argument in every household during COVID. but we've moved past that, right?
True.
Where we can make sure we're clean now.
True. Yeah, I don't think we've ever been stingy with TP, but I think we literally were going toilet paper hunting to be sure we had enough.
Yeah,
Remember when we went to the store at 7:30 a.m. was opening at 8? We lined
got
up
in line at Publix
to get 8 rolls back.
Yeah, we cherished every square. It was a different time. So anyways, this is not how Sophie had hoped the apology would go. And she thinks Rob's focused on all the wrong things.
And so she's leaving again.
And so she grabs her stuff and leaves once again.
She moved back in for 10 minutes.
So couple days since they've seen each other, Rob's going to take a different approach now. They're going to get back together and Rob's going to try a different approach. No chores this time. They're going to learn to two-step.
Well, instead of writing a list, he's going to write a poem.
Oh, all right.
And bring her a rose because he keeps in mind that Sophie likes these little romantic gestures. So I like to see that he takes notes, but I feel like he always takes notes and then he takes it too far.
Okay, fair enough. I think the bar is pretty low with Sophie because when she arrives and sees Rob, she's like, I like your outfit. It was a red Hanes t-shirt and jeans.
I was thinking the same.
Like, what is there to like? And like, he's not a terrible dresser that I can think of where she's like, oh, thank God. He's wearing something normal.
He should have worn something more cowboy-ish.
Yeah, rock it a little bit. But okay, before they dance, Rob goes, well, I wrote you a poem and I want to read it to you. Okay. You deserve love every single day in every big and little way. Let me give you the love you deserve. Let me in and let love preserve. Together we'll make a lifetime of memories and build this road to endless possibilities. Wow. Sophie's like, you came up with that yourself?
He did.
She really has low standards.
Sophie's like, wow, like you should be a writer. You should be a poet.
You're a poet. And I didn't even know it. So then it's dance time.
Yes, and they have fun. They took a class. Sophie's not a great dancer.
I don't know that anyone was, and I blame Wyatt, the dance instructor, because this just seemed unprofessional. Like, this was not...
It was a two-step at a bar.
This is not, like, sanctioned by any dance school. It was like a lot of drunks sitting around in a circle looking at Wyatt tell people what to do.
Just to have fun. I don't think I would want to do it.
I know, but if I was like, hey, Teresa, guess what we're doing tonight? We're going to learn how to dance. We're going to a dance class. I don't think you'd picture me taking you to the middle of a crowded bar with a guy named Wyatt and he'd show you how to dance. You'd picture like a ballroom, a studio.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Honestly, I would do this, but I would do this in like a Nashville on a vacation. If there are more people on the dance floor.
Well, Austin's a place to do it. I went to a killer bar in Austin that people...
I went to Austin with you. Where was I?
This was once you left.
Oh.
Once you left, it was it was like a time travel when you walked inside. It was like walking into Yellowstone and everyone was just two-stepping. It was cool.
I would love to two-step.
Yeah, it was cool. So, all right. They finished their dancing and Sophie's got something to tell Rob.
Well, she has a male friend named Callum. And he's coming to visit. He's going to meet him tomorrow. Probably like chilling by the pool. And Rob is like, okay. Is he ugly? And Sophie's like, no, he's not my type. And Rob is like, he better be ugly or I'll be mad.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this situation.
I have a lot of guy friends.
Oh, that's fine. No. I think I'm more team Sophie here.
Yeah.
If Callum's not staying at their place, then how much heads up do you have to give? If it's just like, hey, my friend's in town, we're going to go meet up at the bar. Is it any different than a friend in Austin who you're going to go meet up
Exactly. Plus, you're married. You should drop all the jealousy. If your wife's friend from England is coming to see her and want to meet you, why not? She left England to be with you.
Well,
so she's definitely not into this guy.
But that's the issue, is that they're already on such rocky ground that anything that's going to rock it even more is not a good idea.
But it's Rob's personality. Like, bro, just come on. You are over 30. You have a wife. If she wanted to be with this guy who's been her friend for years, she wouldn't have left England. She would have stayed in England, traveled the world with him, whatever he's doing, and she would never be with you.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything to worry about, but we saw the sneak peek. He's a cutie.
He's a cute guy, but so what? Like, if you told me, hey, my friend, female friend from Connecticut is going to be in Florida, I will meet her, I'll be like, cool, let's meet her.
Sure. You would be wondering, though. You just wouldn't verbalize it. Is she good looking? You would wonder.
I feel like you just love me so much.
Yeah?
That there's just no one else ever.
I know, and there's not, but you would still probably wonder, I wonder if she's good looking or not.
I don't think I would.
I think you would.
I would like really step up my fashion game just so I shine no matter what.
Okay, but see, so all of a sudden it's competition.
It's not. I love to shine.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I think you're...
No, I would step up my game just because to feel full in myself and who no matter who this person is. Yeah, I think the only...
Well, let me tell you, she's hot.
You have a friend?
In this fantasy, she's pretty hot.
You have a what?
I don't know. If we're just role-playing, I'm telling you that she's good looking. I don't know.
Why do you have a good-looking friend?
I don't know. Because if it's a fantasy, why wouldn't she be good looking?
Do you want to bang your friend?
I don't know. How much did you step up your fashion game?
Okay, well, in that case, I have two extremely good-looking friends coming to meet us.
Two?
Yeah.
They better not be staying here. We don't even have room for a dog.
Oh, I think they're staying with us.
Oh, boy.
Your friends are going to stay at Publix.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Glad we settled that. I think this is a good time to take a break. Do you think it's a good time?
I think so, because I'm going to go and look at all your friends on Facebook.
All right. Let's take a quick break. You'll hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Thursday. Have you settled down over there?
Yeah, as your friend at Publix.
You're getting all sorts of heated. All right. Should we move on?
Let's move on. Let's move on away from your fantasy.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the opposite of my fantasy. This is my nightmare. This is Ashley and Manuel. Do you know how far the motorcycle money could go for Manuel's kids if he's so worried about money?
Oh, yeah. Also, I thought Ashley had an issue of, I'm the sole provider of this family. You need to find a job. We cannot just send money. But you're going to buy him a motorcycle hoping that once you do, he's going to open up to you.
The whole thing makes no sense.
No sense, especially this is not a $200 gift. This is what, a couple of grand.
Several thousand. Manuel's like, well, if I had a motorcycle, I could ride around and make friends and learn English. I'm like, in what fantasy world is that what's going to happen?
Well, he wants to ride down to New York to be with his family without Ashley.
What you should be doing, you're trapped at home. You have no friends there. You have no job. There's no better time than now to learn English. Ashley should be like, hey, here's the deal. You learn English, you get a motorcycle. A little incentive, right?
Yeah, I like it.
A little parenting 101. You pass the test, you get the bicycle. Now it's a motorcycle. You learn your English, you get a motorcycle.
I like it.
Thank you. So, all right. They go to this motorcycle shop. Manuel immediately finds a bike that he'd be able to take from Rochester to the city so he could see his family. No problem. Loves it.
Louise says, hey, look at this. This is a couple's bike. Ashley's on it already. Manuel's like, what are you doing? You're not going with me to New York City to visit family.
Who said I want a bike with room for you? Yeah, Manuel's like, The whole point of the bike is to get some space. I want to go see my family without you. This guy's not good at negotiating.
And they're arguing again.
What else
All
is
they
new?
do is to argue.
Yeah, argue, bang, argue, bang. I'm telling you, this is a miserable couple.
But this is a crazy thing. Let's say, like, if you wanted to buy me a car, like, yeah, I would try to like sneak it a little, like, oh, can I get this Mercedes maybe? But I would always leave a seat for you if you're buying it for me.
That's what I'm saying. He's a terrible negotiator.
Yeah, like, why wouldn't you have a bike for your woman? Don't you? You're married. Don't you want your girl? Don't you want to ride with your girl? I always see couples on the highway, this double bike with the lady in the back with no helmet.
What you do is you get the sidecar. So
Ooh.
you don't have to be holding on for dear life in the back. You get the little sidecar. You sit down there. That's cool. You look cool at a sidecar.
I guess.
You really don't. But
What kind of do?
sitting in a sidecar, you think you look cool?
No?
I don't think you look cool.
I have
A dog in a sidecar.
Ooh, that's definitely cool.
Yeah.
But it's a lifestyle. I know some people who do these bike rides around the country with their wives in the back.
Sure. I'm with you. Manuel could have probably left that day with a motorcycle if he was like, hell yeah, babe. You on the back, gripping me. We're going down the highway. Ash should have been like, let's buy the thing right now.
Yeah.
But instead he's like, what? No, I don't want room for you. And so then he walked out of there empty-handed.
Manuel needs to learn English first, find a job, and maybe then think about motorcycles.
I agree. So new day. Time for Ashley to be in her element. From the motorcycle shop now to something more witchy.
Well, she has an issue with Manuel and his throat blockage, which is not just the English-Spanish, is their communication. No shit. So she needs some herbs to help him clean the throat.
Yeah, a spiritual bath, if you will.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh, is he just gonna strip down naked in there?
I thought the bath was going to happen there.
Me too.
What is this take the bath home
No,
business?
he's just getting some herbs to go.
Yeah.
Because he agreed to the spiritual bath, and I feel like, is he high or drunk, or why is he agreeing to this?
Well, I respect this. And I don't respect a lot about Manuel, but I respect this when he was like, the curiosity got the best of me. Like, I'm a very curious person. I'm all for that. Why not try? It's probably not going to hurt you. See what happens. Be a little curious, right?
True. So they take it home.
They sure do.
Yes. But before he fully dive into this bath, we see him taking a little English class.
Oh, yeah.
He's a really bad student. He's a very bad student.
I thought his English was better than
Oh no.
this showing.
What food can we order at the cafe? Manuel. Rice? Mm-hmm. Chicken and rice?
Uh-huh. It's like, you're cheating, man.
He's just hungry.
Well, you're just saying the only thing you know.
It's not going well for him. And you can tell that the instructor doesn't like him. Because he's that person who's not, even if you suck, you're like, oh man, yes, you're right. No, he's like MIA. He's not even there.
Yeah, put
He's
a little effort in.
like rice, who cares? Chicken, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You got to wave the motorcycle in front of him. Maybe he'll want to learn.
Yeah, but from English class to spiritual bath.
Whoa. And I thought Rob was the poet.
Am I right?
Yeah.
First, couple of raccoons want to dive in.
Raccoons are kind of cute.
Unless you find them dead in your garbage can, sure.
Well, that's not ideal. But you know about Ricky Raccoon.
Of course I know about the Ricky Raccoon.
Didn't my sister give it to...
No, she better did not.
Oh, that was Mickey, not Ricky. She
Mickey
gave
Mouse, sure. She cannot take Ricky Raccoon.
Rachel, if you took Ricky, bring him back.
You need to bring Ricky back, Rachel.
He's in such pristine condition.
You should also put him in a plastic bag and suck out the air like I did with my Eeyore.
I don't need to do that. Your Eeyore is really falling apart. Ricky looks like he conditions his coat of fur. He is so pristine.
Well, my Eeyore got a little moldy and was like chewed from a dog.
Yeah,
My mom washed him.
I would never let that happen to Ricky.
My mom washed him, and then I brought him to America, and I preserved him in a plastic bag, and he's in my nightstand.
Maybe
You
it's
should
time.
preserve Ricky Raccoon.
I think we could like cremate Eeyore and put him in a nice vase
Why do you cremate Eeyore?
because he's so decrepit right now. He's really falling apart.
He's in a plastic bag.
How many eyes does he have?
Like 1.2.
Okay, exactly. He's terrifying.
He's not that bad.
All right.
I've had him since I was a very young child. 2 dogs chewed on him. I chewed on him. He was washed multiple times.
Seeing Eeyore, now I know why you have no pets.
What are you talking about?
You can't even take care of a stuffed animal.
It's missing its eyes because of my dogs.
All right, I feel like I'm being mean to Teresa. Let's move on.
You are.
I apologize.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't talk shit about Ricky.
Yeah, you can't say a bad word about him.
He smells.
Did you smell him?
Yeah.
He doesn't smell. Like maybe like a little dust. I don't know.
Yeah, he smells like an old,
Raccoon.
like an old raccoon. That's why you should wash him
But
and
he looks like a
preserve him.
young raccoon. He looks like he hasn't aged a day from when I got him.
Sure.
All right. Big day for Manuel. It's time for the bath. This thing looked more like chili or soup that they were whipping up.
Yeah, I was like, why don't you I was picturing a little nice bath, warm bath with herbs
Like
and
sit in
some.
it.
Yeah,
If
like
you
the
wanna-
bath I do.
If you want to ladle it over him while he's sitting in the bath,
Yeah,
let's
just
do that.
Some lights lit up, relaxing, some chanting music.
A couple
This
candles.
was awful. It's cold outside. Bunch of raccoons want to join. She just uses a sponge that she just washed dishes with, washing Manuel. It's like, this did not look good.
Yeah. So while it's all happening, they start talking about Manuel's family in New York and how Ashley wants to know what's your family going to think about me and my witchy ways. And Manuel's like, well, witch is an ugly word for them. So might cause some problems. And Manuel's like, well, maybe it would just be better if you lied about being a witch.
I kind of understand a little bit because in Czech, if you call someone a witch, it's like calling them a bitch, literally.
Okay.
It wouldn't come across the right way because we have a lot of fairy tales with witches. They're all bad. I mean, here and there is a nice witch, sure, in our fairy tales, but in general, the word carries this stigma. And I think this is what Manuel is going for.
I mean, the word carries a little bit of a stigma around here, too. To that point, I would say don't be with someone who doesn't fully embrace who you are. If you're a witch and she's definitely a witch, she's all in on the witch, she loves it, you got to find someone who embraces that.
She needs to find a wizard.
Okay.
That's the male witch.
All right. You learn something new every day.
Harry Potter.
Never
Witches
saw it.
and wizards.
Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Let's move on to a couple I like talking about.
Gino and Jasmine.
Gino done messed up big time.
Gino, whenever he messes up or she messes up and they get into these ugly fights, he grows a pair.
He does, but he also just deflects what Jasmine says.
Oh, that's the funniest part.
Jasmine was like, you're the worst lay in my entire life. And Gino's like, well, I don't like banging you either. It's like, he's just like, he doesn't come up with any insults of his own.
Well, Jasmine's upset and disappointed because Gino did the paperwork and forgot to include her kids. And it might take up to 2 years for the kids to come, right? And Gino, she's sad and crying. Gino, you okay? It's like, no, she's not. Here's my big question, and a lot of people are talking about this. She did not have her kids. She didn't live with her kids in Panama. So I don't believe she has full custody.
Right.
If she doesn't have a full custody, how is she going to bring the kids to the U.S.?
Well, dad could sign.
Yeah, but
it.
the dad doesn't allow her to have full custody in Panama.
Yeah.
Is he just gonna let his 2 young kids go and live in the United States?
Maybe not. Maybe this whole thing is a farce and it's just for
that's
TV.
what a lot of people are saying, that they need to wait until the kids are 18 because the dad does not want to let them go. And again, this is just rumors on social media, but it would make sense. Like, honestly, if she had full custody in Panama, absolutely. But she didn't.
Sure.
He didn't even live with her. How would you just go from that to, oh, I need to bring my kids, like he's going to live with me? And I get it. I don't want to take away from her wanting to be around her kids. I think that's good compared to all the Larissas and other moms that we've seen on the show. But I don't know how this is going to work, to be honest.
Well, maybe dad realizes, hey, they would have more opportunity in the States, and so he'd be okay with it at that
Did
point.
you see how she lived in Panama?
I know.
She lived like a fucking queen.
It was very nice. But let's go with this storyline for
Okay,
now,
we will.
for the sake of the argument. Because we learned last episode it could take up to 2 years for the kids to come to the States because Gino left them off the visa application.
Yep.
And we found out that it's expensive to get some legal help.
Well, it's not. That's what it is. You pay, it's about $2,000 you pay for the immigration.
It's expensive.
But $3,000 you pay to the lawyer. It is expensive, but it's not outrageous.
It's not outrageous, especially for what you're getting. Gino says, I don't have that money right now. I'm gonna do the paperwork myself. And Jasmine's like, absolutely, we are absolutely not going to the law offices of Fedora and Fedora. We will seek professional counsel before we do that.
Here's what I didn't like. Jasmine says, it's not like they're asking for a ton of money. Well, they're asking for a decent amount, not outrageous for what it is.
At least $5,000.
But it's a lot of money. In the grand scheme, it's a lot of money. Jasmine doesn't have that money. She put it in her butt.
Exactly. Shove it up your butt.
Like, literally. And so for her saying, oh, it's not that much money, to him, it's like, well, again, I don't think the fee is crazy because that's pretty normal, but it is a lot of money. And her saying like, oh, like downplaying it while unemployed Gino saying he doesn't have it. Well, I see that. I can see that.
And that's the other issue is, yes, she shoved it up her butt, but Gino is like, hey, I'm not working. I don't have money. It's like, well, you left your job for some reason. So maybe go get your job back and be able to afford professional help.
Also, on this application, he needs to list how much money he makes. If you're bringing in another kid or two and you have a spouse, you need to make a decent amount to be able to bring them in. You cannot say you're unemployed.
That's a good point. Gino makes the point that, well, no matter who does the paperwork, it's not going to change the timeline. Maybe you're right. But if you get it wrong, it's definitely going to delay.
He's only right if he gets it right.
Correct.
If he gets it wrong, there is going to be a delay.
Correct. So this is not what Jasmine wants to hear. She says money means nothing when it comes to getting my kids to the States. And she calls Gino evil. She's like, I'm begging for you to help me. You're being evil.
Yeah. And she's like, I wish I never met you. You're the worst thing that ever happened to me. I want to get a divorce.
Well,
I'm like,
she goes,
whoa.
She goes, you messed up. You're not ready to be a father. And Gino's like, you're screwed up in your dumb head.
Oh.
And Jasmine goes, what an ass. And Gino goes, you're the ass.
And now she wants to get a divorce. Here's the thing. If you ever told me you want to get a divorce, we would get a divorce. Because that's such, that's, if our fights, let's say potential fights, get so ugly that we would use the D word, we would throw it at each other casually, then we would do it because that's just not okay. This is so ugly to say. They just got married and they're saying, oh, you're screwed up in your head and I want to get a divorce. That's bad.
I know, but this is the relationship.
It's bad.
All of their fighting, it's lost all the teeth because they just do it every other day.
That's a good point.
So you take it with a grain of salt. But Gino ends up standing up, walking out of the coffee shop, and Jasmine's like, he's not a good husband. He won't be a good dad. I don't want to have kids with him anymore. And to that I say, all right, this back and forth, this banter, this fighting, maybe they don't take it seriously because it happens all the time. But if I ever saw video of you telling a third party
without me there, like he's not a good husband. He's not going to be a good dad. Like, oh, well, we're done then. Like that would be the nail in the coffin, not the back and forth of like, you're an ass. No, you're an, like you telling someone else those things, it would be over.
Oh, yeah. They should have been over a long time ago. Somehow they're still going.
No, we love watching it. Well,
absolutely.
For some weird reason, I think they love each other.
Oh, I did too.
She's sucking on his toes.
I hate that you just reminded me of that, but yes. I do believe that there is a strange love, but I also think it's a very abusive and unhealthy relationship.
Totally. All right.
Speaking of abusive.
Mahmoud working on that American 15.
Oh, yeah. It's a real thing.
Oh, I can only imagine.
That was me. Donuts, muffins. I discovered it all. Within 6 months, I couldn't fit in any of my check clothes.
Yeah. Mahmoud, better mood today. So they're going to go to the Santa Monica prayer.
He did not wear his new PJs, but luckily he did not sleep in his clothes either, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, Teresa. You're saying that they banged.
They banged. I hope he showered.
I don't know. We've seen it time and time again on this show that people just get from the airport right into the bed.
I can't take it.
So let's get to the Santa Monica Pier. If Mahmoud wasn't overwhelmed before, he's definitely overwhelmed now.
By the bikini shirts?
The bikini shirts, the hats, the tchotchkes. Yeah, this is your classic boardwalk. And Mahmoud was having none of it.
I love souvenir stores.
Love a souvenir store.
A good one.
Love a souvenir store. Love a freshly printed tee.
What's that?
You go to like the boardwalk in Jersey and they'll just like print you. You choose.
Like a t-shirt.
Like a freshly printed.
I was thinking of like a tea that you drink.
Oh, that would be more Mahmoud's.
Oh, yeah.
Speed, I think. Yeah. He not loving all the colors and the hats and it was just very overwhelming. So they leave the shop and they're walking down the boardwalk.
Have you been on that boardwalk?
Yeah, of course.
There is a diner in the back all the way at the end.
Of course I've been on the Santa Monica Pier.
Have you been in the diner?
I'm not sure. Is that where is it big?
It's like a little rotunda kind of a diner.
Yeah.
I went there. I remember just eating and seeing dolphins outside.
Sounds nice. All right. So he saw something else.
He saw a woman in a purple hijab.
Yeah. And his eyes immediately went to her.
Because I almost feel like for him, it was a sign that, wait a minute, I'm in America now. And there are women wearing hijabs here. Why can't Nicole wear it? And it draw his attraction because that's all he wants for Nicole to be.
Yeah, I don't think he was eyeing her down like, ooh, no. I want some of that. It was more like, oh, that's familiar.
Yeah.
And sure, maybe, oh, Nicole could also do that.
Well, Nicole's like, oh, I'm not Muslim enough for you. It's like, you are not.
You're not.
Because the Muslim woman he wants is the one who truly obey by all the rules, which Nicole doesn't.
She didn't convert, did she?
She did.
Oh.
She is a Muslim, but she doesn't obey by all the rules, and that's fine.
None of them.
She's living her life perfect, but you cannot say I'm not Muslim enough for him because you are not. But he needs to start respecting her for being who she is because you're in America now. That's how she lives her lives. You need to respect it or you need to just end that relationship immediately.
Well, she said.
And he knew it. But he knew it coming here. So he needs to stop looking at the women wearing hijabs and be like, oh, wow, look, you can do it because that's not what she wants to do.
Well, they each need to stop trying to change the other person. And just accept them for who they are or go back to Egypt, as Nicole said.
Yeah, she's like, if you want to be a little womanizer, you can go to fucking Egypt. It's like,
yikes.
He just got here, Nicole. I get it. He looked at another woman. I get it, but
I don't think it was with that type of eye.
I don't think so either. But I think at the same time, that's maybe what she sees because that's ultimately what he wants. And that's not who she is.
Right. Interesting. Well, again, we know how this story ends. So
let's not skip ahead.
We're just biding our time till we get there.
Let's talk about a couple that we know is doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to see this, actually. Kobe and Emily.
Yeah. Oh, there's a motorcycle with 4 people on it. You hear that, Manuel? Can at least fit your wife on it. They got motorcycles with 4 people on it over here.
I'll tell you what, if we ever go to Cameroon, we're not driving.
Oh,
that was just out of control.
I don't think this is a Cameroon only driving situation.
And I thought Italy was crazy. Remember those tiny roads?
Italy was normal.
I got hit by a car, basically.
Yeah.
They bumped one of those tiny streets. They just bumped into me with the mirror because it was so tight.
Yeah.
This was wild.
Out of control. David makes another observation, not just about the motorcycles, but hasn't seen one white person there.
And Kobe said, well, that's true. We don't really get many white people here.
Yeah, and he loves finally not being the center of attention because this is how he feels in Salina.
Yes.
So they get to Kobe's home. Kobe's family all outside, waiting to give him this warm welcome. And it's a good thing that Kobe had Emily's family dress up because, like, they were all dressed to the nines.
Yeah.
And when Kobe and her family showed up, it's like, oh, they kind of fit in. Although when they were walking to the front door, it kind of looked like Emily was trick-or-treating. Just the way they walked out. It's like, you guys don't always wear that, do you?
Well, it was a very beautiful moment because everyone was happy to see each other. The whole family was there. Apparently, Kobe has 10 siblings.
Yeah.
Everyone was there with the kids, the parents, the stepmother. They do a little performance. Emily joins. This was beautiful.
It was awesome. And then Kobe's dad gave David a peace plant.
Yes.
In honor of his own dad and mom, which made Kobe super emotional.
And David too. Everyone was crying and hugging, and Emily was crying. I love that she's like really living this.
What do you mean?
That she didn't even fully understand what's going on. And she was like crying because she saw her husband getting emotional. David too, they were hugging. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a beautiful emotion. It was Kobe being like, wow, I never thought this would happen. I never thought a day like this would come, but here we are. So they sit down for dinner and dad said, oh, it would have been so hard. Kobe's dad said, oh, it would have been so hard for us to go to America for the wedding. So I'm very happy you guys are here now. And since you guys are here now, well, it's a great time to do a traditional marriage, a traditional wedding.
Which I'm all for.
Yeah, let me say this. I'm kind of surprised this wasn't the plan. And maybe it was the plan.
I know.
And this is all for show to make a little drama. But if half the family can't come to the wedding in one country, I'm kind of surprised that you wouldn't just automatically plan to have a wedding when you do go back.
Oh, 100%. If my family couldn't come for whatever reason, we would have had a Czech wedding. And we almost did, but thank you, COVID.
We planned on it. Most of your immediate family did come for our wedding, and we still planned on doing a Czech celebration.
But COVID-19.
But COVID. So I don't know. I'm on the fence here whether or not this wedding is really a surprise. Hurry, we only have a day to get you ready for the ball sort of thing, or if it was planned all along.
Well, Emily's excited. She's a little nervous because she says, I spent so much time planning our actual wedding. We don't have time here. Can I even do it? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And I can understand how she's nervous because they're there for 2 weeks. How much can she do? She doesn't get the culture, but apparently it's all possible. They can make it happen.
Yeah.
So she's down.
Yeah. And I'll put a little bit on Kobe, just himself. Like, did he not think, hey, we're going back to my hometown. We should plan a wedding there too. Was he not thinking about setting something up? Like, it's dad's spur of the moment idea to just throw it out there?
I don't know, but it was beautiful. They just want to make sure they get blessing from the ancestors.
Yes, to make it legitimate in Cameroon.
Yes. And so the next day they wake up in the morning, regroup,
David loving his traditional necklace.
Oh, yeah.
He changed out of everything but that necklace.
I love it for David.
Yeah, he's pulling it off.
They want to know, like, Kobe, like, tell us step by step about this wedding.
Yeah.
So he's basically saying the day before the wedding is the knock on the door day when they will exchange goods for Emily.
The knock door ritual.
Which to Mother Lisa seems like she's exchanging Emily for canned goods.
Yeah. Well, she was like, I never thought we'd have like a dowry for our daughter. And it sounds like it's quite the celebration. He's going to bring drinks. They're going to prepare food.
Sounds fun.
Lisa's like, well, what if we make American food? And Kobe's like, traditional meals would be appreciated.
I love that relationship because when you think of back at when he got there and there was some navigating to do for sure. I love when they are now. And he's such a positive person. I love
he's the best. He's the best. And Emily's parents are like, all right, well, what else do we need to do then? And Kobe's like, well, you'll make a list. You'll write down what you need so that I can marry your daughter. So whatever you need, goats, cows, etc. And they're like, how are we going to get that back? I mean, they have
a farm.
They do have a farm. Like it could go a long way, but did you see they just made it legal? I forget if it was, I think it was American. It's like you can just fly with any dog now.
Any?
Pretty sure.
Really?
I just glanced at the article, but
you can really have him like with you.
Our apartment's too small for a dog, so I don't know how Americans gonna have that policy. I'm looking it up right now. American Airlines.
American airline?
I think so. Dog policy.
We need to buy a seat for a dog?
Well, here we go. American Airlines revises this policy for bringing pets and bags on flights. Americans relaxing part of its pet policy to let owners bring their animal companion and a full-size carry-on bag into the cabin.
Oh.
People who carried a pet into the cabin paid a $150 fee. Could only have one other small item. Oh, so now it's just like, yeah, you can have your dog and a bag.
Do they still restrict the size of the dog?
I don't know.
I think that needs to fit in this little bag
I
under
don't think
the
so.
seat.
I've been on many of flights where there's just like a German Shepherd.
Yeah, but that's a service dog.
Yeah.
You don't just fly with a German Shepherd.
I don't know. There you go. That's your airline update for you.
Sweet.
So anyways, they're talking about the dowry and Mother Lisa's kind of a little uncomfortable about getting gifts in exchange for, it feels a little weird, I guess, if you're not used to it.
Yeah, but I feel like I like that she says it out loud, but I don't think she's going to be against it once it's happening because it's a tradition.
It's culture.
Yes.
Yeah. Kobe's like, it's fun. It's going to be a fun thing.
It sounds like fun.
I'm here for it.
Me too.
That's the episode. What an episode.
Great episode. I am loving Happily Ever After. Great
season so far. Hope you guys are enjoying it. If you guys want to hear our thoughts on some other shows, check out the Patreon and Supercast, patreon.com/marriedtoreality, marriedtoreality.supercast.com. We are wrapping up the single life over there. Mm-hmm. It's tell all on tell all on tell all.
Tell all on tell all on tell all. Never ending.
They could not stop telling us things. But after that, it's going to be Love in Paradise, and we love that.
Yes.
We got bonuses over there. It's ad-free. It's a good time, so check it out, Patreon and Supercast. Also, make sure you're following us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Message us, call in, share your thoughts. Also, make sure you're following the podcast, the one you're listening to right now, wherever you're listening to it right now. It's so easy to do. Just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's heard.
Oh, boy.
What did I say at the beginning of this
Raccoons?
episode? Oh, the spiritual raccoons.
All right. Shout out to Ricky.
Sure. I love Ricky Raccoon.
You got that right. And last but not least, if you haven't left a review, please do. You guys know we're suckers for a little love. If you leave a 5-star review and you write something, we'll read it on this podcast right here for everyone to hear.
Correct.
All right. That is it. I've said it all.
I've said it all.
A little too much, I think. Just enough, I think. I think you behaved yourself this episode. All right. All right. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.